Right then, on to our next speaker of the evening. So we have Audrey Limery, who is a very proud geek like myself. And what I like about Audrey is she's breaking down the barriers and proving that no matter what your background or what your orientation, if you're female or male, that you can become a successful IT professional without having a techie degree. So Audrey is a data scientist. She has her own company called LY and so she's going to be sharing her passions for data, telling us a little about why it's important, and then also, sharing her journey into IT to inspire other women to join the data gang. So please put your hands together for Audrey Emery.
Hi everyone, my name is Audrey Limery and I am a data scientist, as you can see here, and I'm a CEO of LY Corp. So, data scientist, you probably heard by now that data scientist is one of the sexiest jobs of the 21st century. Probably heard that by now. However, despite all the sexiness, women are still very well underrepresented in the tech industry. As you can see here, women only represent about 25% overall of the tech industry. And these numbers are quite alarming. Not only there is a gender gap in the tech industry, but there's also a great digital gap in the UK. So according to a study by O2, the UK will need to fill about 750,000 new digital jobs by 2020. And they will need to train about 2.3 million people to actually meet the demand for digital skills. So yeah, those are really alarming numbers. So it shows that the demand for qualified and skilled IT professionals becomes really urgent. But can we just really rely on experience, or do we actually need an IT degree to break the IT industry? So we shall see. I have found that, where are we? Yes, the next one. Oh, okay, that's great, yeah. So I found that 74% of tech workers have a degree, but the number of UK students graduating with computer science qualification has considerably dropped by 2002. Also, on top of that, developers can expect on average to earn from 7 to 20, up to 25% higher than the graduate counterpart. So based on all these numbers, do we really need an IT degree or IT background to break into the IT industry, or can we just rely on experience? So I'll share my journey and we shall see. All right? So through this presentation, I want to share 3 things with you. So the 3 objectives are to demonstrate that the tech industry is actually accessible, to introduce data science and the skills you need to actually become a data scientist, and present some business application of data science. All right, are you ready? Yeah? All right, let's do this. All right, so this is where I come from, in the Caribbean over there. Next slide. In Martinique. Next one. Right there. All right, this is Martinique. This is where I come from. It's an island, it's a French island located in the Caribbean. All right, so, yeah, so hang on. So, in 2008, I had a degree in transport and logistics management, so nothing like IT, in Martinique, but I wanted to continue my studies. So I left my island and I decided to go to Huddersfield. Yes, so I left my island, and you can click the next one. Indeed, I left my sunny island to actually go to, press it, to go to sunny Huddersfield. Yeah? All right, so you can press the next one now. All right, so what happened there is that I did 1 year in the UK, in the University of Huddersfield, completing a Bachelor of Honours in Transport and Logistics Management. Still no IT, right? And I did 1 year. I left for the US to do an internship. Came back, graduation in 2011. And by June, August 2011, I was actually looking for my very first job in the UK. That was a total nightmare, by the way, I got to say. But guess what? I went to an interview at some point. Go back. Yeah, I went to an interview at some point, and basically what happened, they gave me an Excel assessment to do. Yeah, on site. So this is where I realized I could barely do a VLOOKUP on Excel. So that was pretty ridiculous, that was bad. For someone who wanted to be 90, yeah, well, that was it. So I could barely work on Excel. And I didn't want that to happen anymore, so I went home and I studied, basically. So now, I got my first job in August 2011, and about a few years later, so now in 2018, guess what? I'm a data scientist, data woman and Prague, indeed. So I went from not being able to function on Excel, I was pretty lame, yeah, I know, to actually being a data scientist now. So how did I do it? How did I manage to go from point A to point B? So I'm going to share that with you. So let's have a look. So here you can see this is the first company I work for in the UK. That's an automotive company, we're producing automotive part. Via this company, I managed to develop some business analysis skills, as well as upgrading my Excel and Access skills, right? So that was the very beginning. Then I worked for Boots, data ETL skills. So ETL, for those who don't know, extraction, transformation, load. So data transformation skills, data analysis and modeling skills. Metapack, this is where I learned about SQL, and I had more knowledge about IT systems, because I didn't know much before that. Then working for GlaxoSmithKline, Barlow Splash and Software, Liamasoft, I worked as an analyst, I worked as a consultant, I developed, just to name a few, a lot of data skills, business intelligence, data, analytics, visualization, IT project management, implementation, SQL, SAS, Tableau, and on and on and on. Yeah, so through my career, I managed to actually get some IT skills. And at that point, I didn't consider myself an IT professional. For me, I was a supply chain professional. Then I realized, hang on a second, yeah, I'm an IT professional now. So that was a revelation for me at some point. Then with all those skill sets, in 2016, I decided to start my own business, LY Corp, and use all those skills to do some BI, so business intelligence and analytics, and work as a contractor for companies like Deloitte, MT Cybex, and Yvonne. What I've done in the meantime is also upgrade my skill set via studying to become a data scientist. What I've done to close the gap, learn Python, statistics, and machine learning. All right? So those are all the skills that I learned over the past years to allow me to build my business, to do BI and analytics, data science, and I learned those three skills with those 3 areas at last, right? Okay, so now that we went through my journey, let's have a look at data science. So data science is, and I'm losing my slides, data science is a multidisciplinary field, basically interdisciplinary field that uses scientific method, processes, algorithm, and systems to extract data, knowledge and insight from various data, right? So, yeah, that's right. So the data science life cycle comprised of business understanding. So you obviously have to understand the business problem at first, so understand what business, understand what the problem are, so you can actually gather the data next. So once you understand the business, you can do some data mining, some data cleaning, exploration, and then start to build a model right there. Once you build a model, you can extract your findings, do some data visualization to be able to see the patterns and to reveal insight. Okay? So they say like they say that data scientists are a bit like unicorns. Yeah, I bet you like my unicorns right now. So the reason we say this is because the different skills that are basically required to become a data scientist are very, very difficult to find in only one individual. So this is why it's very difficult to find data scientists at the moment. So let's have a look at those skills. So talking about statistics, obviously. So machine learning, statistic modeling, experiment design, etc. Soft skills, obviously. You need to be able to work with other people, to stakeholders, to be able to communicate, do some problem solving, etc. Obviously, you need to be able to code. So programming a database is important. You should be able to work with data, to manipulate data, etc. And communication and visualization. If you cannot communicate your finding, it's going to be difficult for you to be a data scientist because obviously you need to communicate your insight to the stakeholders, and the stakeholders can't talk tech. No, most of the time they need to understand what you say, so you have to adapt your message to your audience. Okay? All right, so this is Paul, or we can call him Paula, it could be a woman. Yeah, so Paul has to be very creative in his job. He's a data scientist, so he needs to be creative, but he needs to use his technical skills as well to do his job. So what does he do? He does analytics, predictive modeling, statistical analysis modeling, data mining, etc. But do you notice his salary? Yeah, well, it's in dollars, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So his salary is pretty high. Why? Because on top of providing skill sets that are very much in demand, while there is a very short supply, he actually brings a lot of value to an organization because he can help them, help the organization understand their issues, find solutions, develop strategies, improve operational efficiencies, reduce costs. All in all, make better decisions, take action, and maximize their profits. All right? So this is a data scientist toolbox. So data scientists use all kinds of technologies, and it just doesn't stop. It's a very fast-paced industry. So it's not enough for data scientists to just learn and, okay, get over with. A data scientist needs to constantly learn, upgrade their skill sets, and work with technologies such as MySQL, Mongo, Spark, Python, SQL, and the like. So you have to constantly learn, research, and upgrade your skills, upgrade the value that you can give to a business, basically. All right. So do you know the difference between artificial intelligence and machine learning? Because those two terms come back a lot, but I know that not a lot of people know the difference. Anyone?
So I think the machines do with deep learning,
Mm-hmm.
and the artificial is not so deep. It's more broad and that's more specialized. So it's more.
And wouldn't machine learning be part of AI?
We're getting closer. We're getting closer. Anyone? No?
Machine learning teaches itself.
Okay. All right. Let's have a look then. All right. Well, we're close. Machine learning is a subset, a subfield of artificial intelligence, right? So artificial intelligence, you can have fields such as robotics, vision, natural language processing. So yes, so we got some deep learning there as well, and NLP. Machine learning, basically we use algorithm, and we basically give the computer the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. So we teach the model about the existing data, and the model is able then to predict values based on new data sets. All right? So, yes, can you go to the next one? That's all right. Thank you. All right, so there are three types. So if we focus on machine learning right now, there are three types of machine learning: supervised, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. Okay? So all three types as their own algorithm, okay? And machine learning is very useful in business because you can do a lot of things. You can predict a lot of things when working with machine learning algorithm. For example, just to name a few, customer segmentation, market forecasting, targeted marketing, customer retention, work with big data, etc. So data is everywhere. So machine learning, artificial intelligence is not going anywhere, basically. It's going to be there for a while. So let's have a look. Let's take an example quickly. So a car dealer has records of different visitors they have over the past month, right? So we got the user ID, the gender, the age, estimated salary, and whether or not they purchased the car, right? So this is the records of online visitors, whether or not they purchased a car. What a data scientist can actually do with those data is determine whether the future online visitors are likely to click on an online car advert to purchase a car based also on the age and the estimated salary. All right, so they can use the existing data set to teach the algorithm, to teach the model, and then predict whether or not the customer will be likely to click on an ad. So that can help for targeting and customer segmentation and the like. So if you have a look at the machine learning process, that's the next one. So we get the data set, we clean the data, we do some feature engineering. So we split the data into two data sets. The training data set, which we teach the model with. So we fit the model on that training data set. And we have a test data set. We have a result for the test data set, but we leave it on the side. So when we basically tell the model, OK, now here is your assignment. Give me the prediction for the test data set. Once it does that, we get the insight, and we can compare it against the true value and see the model performance. If a model performs well, we can then deploy. Does that make sense? Yeah? Oh, perfect. All right? So, yeah, we can go to the next one. OK, a last example now. Customer segmentation. Let's say a very simplistic example. Here you have a bunch of data. You've got customer name, customer revenue, profit per customer, and the time a company actually spends on a customer, right? So here it doesn't make much sense. It's just a bunch of data. But let's see what we can do with that. That's it. So with those data, we can actually do some clustering and do some customer segmentation and see the profitability for each customer against the time that a company spends on each customer. So based on that, we can identify 4 categories of customer. The first one, this one. So this is where the business doesn't need to spend too much time on this type of customers, but the profitability is a bit low, right? So we can be, for example, that the business sells some digital products online, so the value is very low. We don't have to spend too much time on it. But on a large scale, we can still make a lot of money with those products, right? The second category here. So the business needs to spend more time with its customers, but the profitability is quite high. So we're talking, for example, about a consultancy company working on projects, for example. So we have to spend more time with its customers. So it's basically trading time for money. The third category, so these are the customers we love because the business doesn't need to spend too much time on these customers, but the profitability is high. So ultimately, this is where we want our customers to be, right? However, last one, that lonely little customer here, we always that customer will take, too much of your time and, and doesn't bring too much money, right? We want to avoid having this type of customers because you're wasting time and you don't get a lot of money out of them. So you need to adjust your strategy to move those kind of customers away from that part of the quadrant. Okay? So this is what you can do with customer segmentation. Really simplified, explanation, obviously. But data science, machine learning, all of that can actually help you see what's behind the data. turn the data into insight and help you make better decisions and take action to maximize your profit. Okay? So what I would recommend is to let the data tell the story. Thank you. That's me, Audrey Limery, data woman and proud geek. Thank you.